Today we're going to learn how to do some gathering. So gathering is how we take fabric and make it narrower to fit in. So you quite often see it on a skirt or on a bodice or to fit sleeves in. So our first thing we're going to do is I've chosen a straight stitch. I'm going to increase my stitch length up. So you want it to be above a 4, between a 4 and a 5, or the longest stitch that your machine will do. So obviously mine's digital, I can just bump it up there. Anyone who has a dial, just slide your dial around. Okay, so now that I've got that, I'm going to move the camera across so we can see the portion of the sewing a bit easier. Making sure we've got nice long tails of thread, I'm going to pop our fabric in and lower our presser foot. So when we start, we are not going to do any reversing. We're just going to keep our threads, our tails nice and long, and just start. So to begin with, it was doing one line of stitching all the way along. And when we get to the end, we're going to, again, leave nice long tails of thread. Trim. We're going to do a second pass. So the first time I lined up the raw edge with a part of my machine foot. This time I'm lining up my stitch line I've just done with part of my machine foot. Again, no reversing, just starting off. Try and keep your lines as parallel as possible. We want them to look like two train tracks coming along. Get to the end, lift off. Nice long tails of thread again. So we have our 2 rows of stitching. I'm going to separate out the threads. So I'm taking the top threads and the bottom threads. So I'm going to hang on to the bottom threads, and with my left hand I'm going to push. And as I push, I'm creating the gathers. So my right hand is holding things firmly but not too tight because we don't want to snap our threads, while my left hand is just pushing along the gathers as they go. And you can see that they go quite easily. It's not taking too much effort to actually push them along. And in general, our aim is to try and make sure that our gathers are evenly dispersed along the full length, so you don't have some parts which are very tight and some parts which are looser. So you just keep coaxing them along. Always try and go in the one direction rather than try and pull from either end. It makes it slightly easier, but also means it lessens the chance of breaking your thread. So that's what we're looking like. If we were sewing this into a garment, we would then attach the next piece. But when you do attach, remember to go back to your regular stitch length of 2.5 or 2.4, not on the long stitch that you are. But that's how we gather.